right, hello everyone. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Today is a beautiful day in New York, and I have my lovely friend Will here to join me. Beautiful dancer, beautiful person. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself a little more. There's flies, but it's okay. And yeah, Will, just tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and however many words you have.
Okay. Well, hi, my name is William. I am a 30-year-old professional dancer. I went to Howard University. What else? Oh, I was born in Memphis, Tennessee. What else?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, I'm Southern.
That's where my family's from.
Memphis?
Part of them, yeah.
Well, let me find out we can, okay?
I know, right? It's possible.
Right. What else is there to say? Been dancing since I got into college, my sophomore year. That's oh, Pilates instructor, dance educator, fitness instructor, and whatever else you need me to be.
Right? Transformer.
Transformer.
Shapeshifter. Yes.
Autobot.
we're here for all of it. Yes. Well, that's beautiful. So, as you know, it's Wellness Wednesday. The topic this week is what does...
I see it.
I'm sorry, you guys gotta die.
I see it. Oh.
Okay. So, the topic this week is what does wellness mean to you? When you hear the word wellness, and yeah, absolutely that. What does wellness mean to you?
Wellness to me, honestly feels like it means allowing yourself grace to just be who you are naturally, and do what you need to do for yourself to be better, a better version of yourself. So if you feel like you need to do more physical activity, you do that for yourself. If you need to change the way you change your diet, do that for yourself. If you need more space to yourself, more isolation, wellness to me isn't just about the physical, it's about taking care of the mental and the spiritual, as well as others too. Like, I feel like the better aware and conscious you are in taking care of yourself, you're also taking care of others, because you can be there, supportive, and show up for others.
Exactly.
When you're when you're able to take care of yourself.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful answer. And I agree. We have to take care of ourselves first in order to go out into the world and be good humans, in my opinion.
Yes.
Because, in our opinion, because I think a lot of people are out here just winging it with no self-awareness, and then you end up hurting others. Hurt people, that kind of thing.
That's a true statement.
Yeah. So in that light of wellness, do you feel like you've been taking pretty good care of yourself this week?
This week.
This week, this weekend, because I know we dancers, freelancers, our schedules are not traditional, so there's that.
And then this was like the standard, like as a freelancer, your schedule's never consistent, and then on top of the pandemic, availability of spaces is inconsistent too, so it's never consistent in terms of like, oh, this space will be available so we can have rehearsal consistently on this day, or have rehearsal within this time frame consistently every time. So it's just trying to juggle one life. For me, this past week was just, as far as my wellness is concerned, I felt an uneasiness and anxiety towards getting certain things done, trying to get done in a timely manner.
Yeah.
As well as trying to communicate and be, as a freelancer, you do multiple things at one time. So making sure that my communication with all the things I'm involved with are in alignment and in sync, and everyone's feeling like they're getting just enough attention as the next.
Yeah.
So that's where my wellness is at the moment.
Yeah. Nice. But was there anything in particular that you did for yourself? Or do you feel like you've had time to do things for yourself specifically? Like, for instance, like taking that space that you need. Like, how did you deal with your anxieties and stuff?
I have to, like, okay, for example, if I'm getting anxious about being, whatever, if I'm getting anxious, I literally have to step aside time. Like, if I'm not able to do it in the moment, I have to say to myself, you need to have a moment to address this and let it have its space to fester out however it needs to. So, that's one just life rule I have.
Yeah.
Now, this past week, Was I able to do that
Yeah,
consistently?
No,
I mean,
yeah.
I will say, I think as I've gotten older, especially in the last year, actually after the pandemic, during the pandemic and thereafter, um, I have really made it a priority of mine to not only have moments to myself throughout the day, but to really analyze what's happening throughout the day
Yeah.
and see, like, digest, like, okay, you're having this reaction. You may not be able to fully invest in this moment to be like, and break it down for yourself.
Yeah.
But I think I'm more able now than I was before to just be like, okay, this is happening. Let me move.
Yeah.
Let it have its moment. And if I need to come back to it, I can. But I think I'm really able to take my emotional response to things out of the situation.
Key. Major key. No, yeah.
But that's real.
No, it
Because
is.
how you respond emotionally will also inform how you respond action-wise.
Yeah.
So I have to adamantly like sit back and be like, this is what I'm feeling, or this is what I'm not feeling.
Yeah. And one thing my therapist is like, asking yourself, like, is this feeling true?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's the one.
is it conducive or constructive to the moment, or is this just moment? Like, is it just momentary and I can get over it type of thing? Because our emotions are immediate, and then like my therapist will say, like, okay, you have the emotion, acknowledge you have the emotion, try to name the emotion, and then what's your physical sensation when you have that emotion, and then like assess it. Yeah, just taking that moment makes all the difference. So I feel like a lot of people are like reactive. Everything's just like reactive. But learning how to respond has been like a big learning curve, and it's rewarding because then you get different responses out of the people you're responding to.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say, watching people amidst this pandemic, or actually just observing, everyone's just more sensitive and just vulnerable to everything.
Yeah.
And I feel it's even more imperative now that we take that time to really identify those emotions, because we are so open and vulnerable at this state.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's growth.
I will say though, to your therapist, I have been doing this, taking the class. It's called The Class. And, but the class actually not capitalizes, but it emphasizes the importance of those moments of identifying what is going wrong within ourselves.
Yeah.
Granted, they use actual physical activity to spur up those emotions, spur up those intense sensations. But just like in life, we can, whether you're traveling on the subway, or if you're at your job, or if you're interacting with people, you are going to have some type of situation where you're going to have an emotional response. In those moments, are you able to step back and really see what's happening for the moment, or are you allowing your emotions to dictate how you're going to respond in that setting?
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying is that there's a right or wrong, but it's just being so consciously aware of whether or not that's happening.
Yeah.
Is the key. Mindfulness. That's the key.
That's the key.
I feel like, if anything I've learned outside of from the quarantining inside this pandemic, it's just the importance of being mindful.
Yeah. Being very mindful, yeah. It's easier said than done.
Yes, it is.
It is much easier said than done, but it is doable for the sure. So thinking of I'm thinking of us as freelancers and like all these new things we're discovering about ourselves, and that we're just like tapping more into. Is there anything right now that like you're doing that's new that you enjoy, that's also contributing to your wellness, that maybe you want to share with others, that maybe they should try out or anything like that?
Something new. Okay. Something that I've been practicing a lot lately. It's not like, so I've been doing this. I go to the gym.
Okay.
And whatnot. So I go to the gym almost
a lot.
A lot. At one point, I was going every day, even when I was doing like my projects or freelancing.
Yeah.
But now I've consciously, especially because of taking the class, I don't go to the gym now just to work out. I really go to the gym now to just get inside my body. And
did you hear that?
let me say it again.
Yeah.
I go to the gym to get inside my body.
Yeah.
And what that means for me, it's just the same or similar to how Buddhists chant or how people who meditate in a stationary position, being active with my body helps me to tune into my body, which is why I love dance so much and why I keep doing it. I will keep doing it as long as I can.
Yeah.
Because tapping into my body through movement is how I align myself internally.
Yeah.
Just to physically know what my body, like I'm become physically aware, and through my awareness of my physicality, I can intuitively come into my emotional body and into my spiritual body.
Nice.
Through the physical. So.
Any new classes or anything?
Ooh. I need to be in class.
I mean, no, like whether they be dance classes or just like physical fit. Like you mentioned some class to me that you were taking that you enjoy.
Oh, the class.
Yeah. Is that the class?
Yes, the class.
Oh, okay. The class that you're telling me on Chambers. That class.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's called the class.
Yes, it's called the class.
Oh, I didn't know that. Check out the class. Sorry. Oh man.
It's called The Class by Taran Toomey.
Got you. Okay. Nice.
Yes, it's a just to give you a synopsis. It's a cathartic workout that will help to realign and rebalance the body, mind, and spirit.
Got you. Okay.
But they use physical exercises to facilitate the cathartic experience.
Oh. Well, that sounds in alignment with who you are and what you do.
I said, if there's anything about my life, I've always wanted to combine fitness and I'll say the physical and the spiritual together.
Yes.
And I'm very active physically.
Yeah.
So, and I try to be as active spiritually, and sometimes trying to find not only time but the space to facilitate those things coming together doesn't always happen. So to find an organization whose mission is all about that,
Gotcha.
It makes a difference.
It makes all the difference, and we want to continue to be in those communities and make more opportunities for the community to grow.
Yes.
Because I think, everybody needs it, and we can all do it. It's just, that's great. I did not know it was called class.
Yes. So that was, in terms of new experiences that have really informed my life, that has informed my life because it ultimately reminds you of the power that you have in changing your narrative or changing, like we talked about earlier, how you change, how you respond in those moments.
Okay, so then that makes me think of this change, because you just said change. Will just had a big hair change.
Oh, yes.
He used to have beautiful locks.
Almost as long as these, actually.
Wait, yes, these are mine.
Well, my one, yeah.
But yes, how do you feel about that? That change? Because I used to have locks as well, and I know when I cut mine, I was like, "Who am I? What am I doing?" And I still feel like that sometimes. But this feels close.
But
I love it. I love the new hair. It's really nice. It's really well done.
Thank you.
And it looks good on you.
You are so kind. You be hyping people up. This is friendship, okay?
That's what you're supposed to do. Hype your friends up. Hype yourself up.
Baby.
Just hype.
The environment is real.
It's real. You're beautiful. We're all beautiful. And I think more people need to know that. True love.
I love her. But
how do you feel about change?
I'm always for change.
Yeah.
If there's anything that anyone knows about me since I was a kid, it's I will change my hairstyle. But actually, locks was probably the most consistent one I've had.
How long did you?
I started growing them from a high top fade, and from there it was for 5 years. 5 years.
Okay.
So yeah, I originally had a high top, started with a little sponge.
Nice.
Never do that. Locticians will come to you and tell you like, this is so disorganized. I don't know how to fix this.
Okay.
But it's okay. They fixed it.
They was fine.
You're so good. She's so sweet. But yeah, when I did cut them, like you, I did feel like my whole identity shifted.
Yeah.
Like, cause when you get a certain hairstyle, you'll get accustomed to it.
Yeah.
And people start identifying like, oh, he's the one with the locks. You
yeah,
know?
that's true.
And after I chopped them, one, it was freeing. Just as a dancer, like being able to spot is.
Oh, I used to have all this weight. I was like, oh, honey.
I'm like,
what is a neck?
Strong neck pose.
Strong neck.
But it was very freeing in that. Spiritually, I definitely felt free. I like, you know what I mean?
The beauty of plants.
Gotta love plants and bugs. Nature.
Nature.
I think. What can I say about my transition? Like spiritually, it felt like it was time.
I mean, it doesn't have to be deep. I mean, it's just if it was time, it was time.
I think, like, also I had bleached my hair too many times, and then I kind of felt like it needed to be refreshed.
Okay.
I'm getting them back.
That was my next question because I know I want to get mine back.
My locks are coming back. Okay.
Period. But yeah, change is good. I was just talking about this with just many people, and I just feel like people, it really freaks them out, change, even though like that's the one thing constant in life. Like I was just sitting out here thinking the other day, like every time I come out here and tip these plants, I'm like, there's something new that is different about the plant each day. And just like the plant, we are just like the plant. We change. So just getting comfortable with change and embracing it is true. Because I don't know. But yeah, changing your hairstyle is good, everyone. So if you were thinking about making a change, this is your go ahead. Take the leap. Big chop. No. Yes.
It makes a difference.
It really does. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? There's so many things.
Yeah, I'm like,
in light of wellness and just life. Well, like right now on my calendar. Oh, you didn't? Okay, well, I hope I might make my calendars again. But did you know I even made calendars? So yeah, in the midst of the pandemic, I did a lot of things. But one thing I did is I made calendars that had affirmations on them with different like pictures of sunsets and stuff that just like made me feel comfortable and like helped me with my mental capacity. And the affirmation this month is to just be. And I feel like that has been so helpful for me. Like there was one therapist that I had, like she said a whole bunch of stuff, but that was like the one thing that stuck with me. And I feel like, I don't know, do you feel like you have the capacity? I mean, well, you kind of already mentioned that, like being able to like take space, take a moment to, well, I think it's a little different, but how do you feel when you hear just being? Like, do you feel like you struggle with that? Or are you able to just sit with yourself and not overanalyze things? Because I am an overanalyzer and an overthinker. And just being, it was like a mathematical problem that didn't make any sense.
I think, yeah, I'm very much like you. I overthink, overanalyze.
Yeah.
I, for instance, this morning, trying to get ready, like being comfortable in making decisions, I get a lot of anxiety about it.
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, why are decisions so hard?
Because then, like, you make a decision and you're like, oh, wait, maybe I didn't make the right decision. Like,
exactly.
This entire morning was all about decisions, like, and then, I mean, going into what we talked about, like, I don't even know how to address all of this at one time.
I know. I know. It's loaded.
It's loaded.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's to just being comfortable in the moment, being present.
Yeah.
I think that for me, it's a daily practice.
Yeah.
Like I have to actively and consciously either stop myself physically from moving, or I have to like put everything in a place where I can see it for what it is.
Yeah.
Whether it's figuratively or like literally, like put this here, okay, now I see it. But yeah, it's if you want to translate it, in the moments when I feel out of control or like I don't have any input on how things are going to go, I literally feel like I'm just falling back and floating.
Yeah.
Like I have no other choice for my stress in my level of anxiety. Like if I don't do that, it comes out in different ways. Like it comes out in pimples, it comes out in headaches and migraines.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tension.
Yeah.
I've had so many cramps.
Yeah.
From overthinking.
No, it's real. Stress is the cause of a lot of illnesses, y'all. So try and relax because
your stress ruins your immune system.
It will ruin the things, you know? Okay.
Okay.
So that made me think of discernment.
Mm.
Because I feel like that's something that I've been, trying to actively have. But I feel like sometimes with discernment, you're still not able to still make the right choice. Like, even if you kind of feel it, like, still there's something in you. There's always, like, I feel like I really see, like, the angel and devil mentality. Like, sometimes I'm like, yes, do it. No. So I'm like, how do you have, sounds of New York,
Right.
how do you have discernment and decisiveness? Because, I feel like we have to, like, go together. I don't know. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense.
No, you're speaking to an earth sign. So, like, making decisions, like, I have to have all the facts. And inside of that, I try to discern the best decision to make from those logical facts. Sometimes it's not about the logical facts, and sometimes it's about the emotional. Sometimes it's about the spiritual or energetic value of the moment. So using discernment.
Yeah. Well, and then that makes me think of your intuition, like
Right.
that gut feeling that is always right. Do you feel like you're tapped in? Because I just started getting tapped in. I was like, does my stomach hurt? But like, and I think everybody feels it in different places. For me, it's in my stomach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually right
I
there.
think it's
that
everyone's
second
gut,
chakra
actually.
right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Like I will not move. If my intuition says don't do it, thankfully, and I'm so thankful I'm more in tune now than I ever was. Usually I can hear it and feel it so quickly. I'm like, I'm good. Now, that's dealing with places, and that's dealing with like inanimate objects.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to people,
It's hard to say. Sometimes you can't read people, and then sometimes people are showing you one thing that's not the truth.
That's the thing. Like, oh.
So then, what do? You learn from it.
But I will say, even inside of those uncertain moments of people like not showing the true colors or being vulnerable or transparent, there's still a gut feeling that you get in those moments.
That's true.
And I will honestly say I do not always listen to those moments or adhere to the red flags that my spirit guides raise for me. They'd be like, excuse me, hey, I'm not saying there's just something wrong, but you might just want to be very conscious moving forward.
Yeah, it's real. Tapped in.
Tapped in. And I always like to say whenever I'm explaining my perspectives that it's not like my perspective is not the end all be all.
Exactly.
Like I feel like life, there's so many different variations of how to live your life, how to be a human. So inside of that, your responses are going to be authentic to whatever it is you feel in the moment. What you go through is going to be your moment, and how you respond needs to also be in that same channel. So trying to discern the right decision to make in whatever moment you have has to, first of all, it has to be you in that moment. In order for you to be fully present in that moment, you can't let outside influences get to you. You can't. I mean, I can't, but I would advise you.
Yeah, I know. It's probably best if you just go with yourself, because then you're going to be upset if you went with someone else's and you knew that you should listen to yourself. I hate when that happens.
Because at the end of the day, who said it? At the end of the day, you have to live with yourself. And if you're not happy with the decision you made when you go home to yourself, then you change it.
So on that note, you have the answer. All the answers you seek, you have them. So just be you.
What was that?
Just be you. Oh, this has been lovely.
This is so real.
Yeah, and it's so needed. And like you said, there are lots of ways to do things. But that's why we have multiple conversations with people. And I just want to bring the conversation up to different people so different people can have different perspectives. Because that's another thing about life. There's a lot of perspectives, and sometimes people just only want to hear their own. But it's nice to have multiple, and then you pick.
Yeah.
You pick and choose what works for you.
Yeah, whatever resonates with you more.
There we go. Yeah. What do they say? Grain of salt? Like, or no.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Or take what's useful and leave the rest. That kind of situation.
Yeah.
But yes, well, I have enjoyed having you today. I'm glad you are here. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for sharing your perspective and your insight. And yeah, Will has a show this weekend.
Yes,
so if you're around, where is it again? I mean, I'm going to post a flyer, but is it in?
What is it?
Ooh, I'm going to post a flyer.
Lower Manhattan, 2nd Avenue and 4th Street.
Okay, nice. So if you would love to see some live performance, I recently got to see him perform and I almost cried. And if you need to feel something, I say get out and make it to the show.
We're actually doing the same piece you saw.
It's beautiful. So, and I wouldn't lie. He knows. No.
She ain't lying, but she does not lie.
No. Yes.
But thank you.
Yeah.
I feel very humbled and honored to support my friends.
Yes. Thank you. You are very much appreciated. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. And yes, go ahead and check out his page along with everyone else who has been on this show, because we're calling it a show.
It is a show.
And yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Drops the mic. We are out. And that's it. I love it. Oh, yes, give me all of it.